Welcome to this week's vlog. Um, Today I'm going to talk about the single biggest predictor of what will allow someone to stick to a food plan or not. And it's not about how tight the food plan is or the precise boundaries on the food plan. I know people on so many different food plans, from committing to just giving up sugar, to just committing to 3 meals a day, to the other end of the spectrum where they weigh and measure everything on their food plan. I also know people who can eat out, who can't eat out, people who can have bread, people who can't have bread, people who can have fruit, people who binge on fruit. So we're all different in terms of the food plan and the boundaries. But regardless of the boundaries, because they change for everyone, the single biggest predictor of whether or not someone will be able to stick to the boundaries is whether or not they can fully accept the truth about themselves, fully accept that if we do have a history of compulsively overeating, eating way more than we need to eat, not being able to stop eating even though we want to, going well out of our way to eat food, feeling sick from eating and eating more, all these types of behaviours. If this sounds familiar to you, then the single most important thing that we need to accept is that we are powerless over food, that perhaps the day that we will be able to eat moderately or normally may never come. For me, I tried for so many years to eat moderately and normally. I tried to, move to other countries to distract myself. I went on raw food retreats, which were healthy, but then I would find a bicycle which would bring me to the local shop, and I'd start stocking up on sugar and junk again. I tried not starting to eat in a day, all these crazy ways to sort of control my food consumption. And it might work for a week or a day, but never in the long run. And what worked for me in the long run was really fully accepting in my deepest self that I was powerless over food. And the first lady who helped me with a food plan used to always say to me, if I made a mistake on my food plan, or if I weighed something wrong, my terror was that I'd go back into the food again, into another binge. And she used to say to me, if you've surrendered in your heart, you'll be okay. And that is so true. I see it all the time with people I'm working with. It's the intent behind the way that we eat. If we're eating to escape, if we're eating to get something, we'll never get enough of what we think we'll need, and we'll try and fill that need with food, but there'll never be enough. Once we accept that truth, that we are powerless over food, that once we stop eating, we are unable to stop. And it's not just eating certain foods, it's certain eating behaviours as well. It's like, once I'm going to get something out of food, in a compulsive, addictive way, I won't be able to stop. Once we can accept that, we're well on the road to freedom. So if you'd like to find out more about this, get in touch with me. I know that it's a big thing to accept about ourselves, accepting that we have limitations. But this is the first step for anyone in any sort of recovery from an addictive behaviour, be it smoking, gambling, drinking, drugs. It's accepting that we are different to the, inverted commas, normal person. And it seems, according to experts, that about 30% of the population fall into this category of being quite predisposed to addictive behaviours. So, but we still can see the other 60% out there who can eat moderately, and that makes it confusing. Why can't we do what they're doing? Why can't we eat like they do and stop? What's wrong with me? Well, I've come to accept that, I have this addictive nature around food, and the more I accept the truth of it, the more peace I have, the more surrender I have, the more freedom I have, and oddly enough, the grip food has over me becomes less and less. So I hope you found this helpful. Take care. If you'd like to, leave a comment below. Talk to you next week.